and welcome to episode 7 of Broken Sword. We've just arrived at the museum. Again, we came here before looking for Andre Lobineau, who is an expert that might be able to help us with regards to the scroll that we found. I think he's an expert on the Knights Templar or something. Anyway, he wasn't here the first time we came, but we did get a clue which led us to Ireland, where we've been, and we found a gem and some other stuff. And now we've recently found out that the goons we saw outside the Hotel Ubu, what were their names? Flap and Guido, I think. They've been sent to steal the tripod, which is in the museum. And the tripod has something to do with the gem that we found, because they're both pictured on the scroll. Was it a scroll or a tapestry that we found? Anyway, let's go inside and see what we learn. Now that must be Andre, so let's talk to him first. That's not working. There we go.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is Georg Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Okay, let's start with the tripod.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
Oh.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
That was a weird way to begin talking about that, but okay. Maybe we should start at the Hanged Man.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the Hanged Man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
So Andre knows Pegram, or at least he's familiar with Pegram. Okay.
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Let's talk
I'd
about
like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Aha, okay.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman.
Oh dear. Yeah, we should definitely check with her first before just sending some guy around to her house. Although she does actually know Andre, I suppose. But still, we shouldn't be sending him around there without checking with her first. Okay, let's...
This friend who has the manuscript?
The anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Oops, I didn't think he would just give him the address. I wonder if I'd left and gone and spoken to Nico, I wonder if it would have even been an option to talk about that. Oh well, too late now, I guess. Let's talk more about the Knights Templar.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Okay.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Okay.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
But don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point.
And also, he doesn't really know who we are. Why would he just give us the tripod? That's kind of insane. Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language. Assassini, the assassins.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
Aha. Oh dear.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Okay. Should we show him the gem? I'm reluctant to show anyone the gem, really, because it seems like that would be a stupid thing to do, since we know that there are people out there who want it and are prepared to kill for it. Let's first see if he's ever seen Khan.
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Okay. Fuck it, let's show him the gem.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter.
Okay, we didn't really learn anything from that, but never mind. Okay.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
So, I suppose he's going to go round to Nico's now and look at the manuscript. Will that happen if I go back there? Let's look at the journal and see what it says. Wow, that Lobineau guy is such a jerk. Look at me. Look how much I know about the Knights Templar. Well, yeah, okay, I mean, he was a bit cocky, but at the same time, if he hadn't known all about the Knights Templar, then we wouldn't have, we would have been stuck. Well, I guess he did know about the Hashashin, and he knew about Montfaucon and where I need to head. Oh, right, of course, yeah, we can go to Montfaucon now. Okay, well, let's do that then. Okay, so we can now go to Montfaucon. Excuse me. Okay. Let's take a look around and then we'll come back and talk to this guy.
I couldn't open it with my bare hands.
But I have a special tool for that. Oops.
Hey! Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone! Now!
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that!
Yeah, okay, I suppose I should have expected that. What's this?
In French, English, and German it read, in 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the Knightly Order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Ooh. Poor guy. Okay, what's up here?
I didn't have time to sit around.
Okay.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world, I guess. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack.
Okay.
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported.
Oh, right, okay, so that's probably something we're going to need later, but we don't know that we need it yet. I assume that's what that meant. Okay, what are these?
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. In comparison to its neighbor, it looked pretty plain. I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Okay. I feel like there isn't a lot to do here yet, so let's come out of here.
I didn't have time to...
Oh, whoops. Okay, so it seems like both these staircases lead into the church. Let's talk to this police officer guy. Maybe he knows about the...
Excuse me, officer.
Okay. Let's talk about him first.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Okay.
What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Ah. Oh, okay. I guess we could ask him about Khan.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk to him about, is there? So let's
I'll see you around.
come out of
Oui,
there.
monsieur. I'll be there.
Okay. That's the cafe. I don't think we need to go back there. That's where Nico is, the police station, the museum. I mean, we still need to stop the gangsters from stealing the tripod. So maybe I should be doing that at the moment. Let's just quickly go back to Nico's. And see if Andre is there.
Hello, George.
Ah, okay, so we've got a few new options, right.
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, because we don't have a lot left to go on if he hasn't got anything that he can tell us about it. Okay, let's talk about Khan.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Okay, is it worth looking at the manuscript again?
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
I suppose really I should go back and see Lobineau again. If they're just going to say the same things...
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a...
Yeah, okay, let's just... Right, so... I guess it's back to the meeting.
I'd better get back to the quest.
Musikroon, that's what we want. Okay. So Lobineau should have some new information now.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nico's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
But he already knew Nico, so... I mean, I suppose he was sort of referring to the manuscript, but also winding up George. Okay, let's talk about that then.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
Okay, you're gonna tell me what the pictures mean?
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Okay. So when we were in the church at Montfaucon, and George mentioned that Spanish knight, I think that's what he was referring to, but I've maybe done this in a slightly the wrong order. Okay.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Okay. I feel like we're about to go to Spain.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Let's just talk to this guy again.
Pardon me?
Oui, monsieur?
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Well, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied hard and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
That was a bit harsh. Okay. So, the beginning of that conversation was a reference to the conversation I had with him when I first came here. And if I remember correctly, he we asked him about the tripod, and he basically fed us a load of BS.
Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Okay. Okay. Now then, in order to stop them stealing
Thanks for your help.
are we gonna have to end up stealing it ourselves? What's this?
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
Okay. Now then, what is that? Oh, that must open the window. This feels familiar. Was there a reason to do that? Maybe I should look at the tripod again.
The case contained the tripod shown on the manuscript. It was an ancient Egyptian sarcophagus with a beautifully painted effigy of its owner on the lid.
Oh, he just closed the window. Okay, hang on. It's weird how I keep walking behind that totem pole thing. Okay, let's open that, and then when he goes to close it, see if we can get in here. Aha!
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, Monsieur.
Aha! Ah. Okay.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight!
Okay. I guess that seems to be the only thing to...
What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
Ow!
Oops. Oh, okay.
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor George.
What a mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. He's not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. It all worked out in the end. Okay, let's talk about Andre, because I assume that'll just do what it always does and open up the manuscript.
Is there something going on between you and Labino?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this, the clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
So get off my case!
Okay, fair enough, yeah. Oh, maybe we can put the gem on the tripod. Not that I think that would do anything, but...
Nothing happened.
Yeah.
The gem fits perfectly, but what does that prove?
Maybe the tripod has to be in a certain location.
There's nothing on the manuscript to indicate where, though, is there?
Hmm. Oh, okay. So I now have the tripod.
Maybe not.
Let's look at the manuscript.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Maybe we can talk about what Andre said about the knight.
A knight with a crystal ball. The knight scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teeth.
Oh, okay, that just said what it always says. Okay. Oh.
Just how long have you known Labino?
Andre? We met at college. He helped me out when I was a fresher. Showed me around, that sort of thing.
You never told me that before. I thought he was just a working acquaintance.
So he is. I rarely see him these days. You know, he hasn't changed much. A little lesser at the front, perhaps. I'd forgotten how much fun he could be.
Okay. Well, let's
I'd better get back to the quest.
Okay, so we can go to Spain. Let's do that then. How are we doing for time? I wonder if I don't know how long we're gonna be spending in Spain. So maybe that should be the next episode. We'll call that the end of episode 7. We've made a bit of progress. We've found out what the knight is on the manuscript, or at least we know that it's a reference to this knight that was in Spain. So we've got a new place to investigate, and we now have the tripod. So we've got the gem and the tripod. We don't actually know what they do, but we know that they're important and that people are trying to get a hold of them. Have we found anything else out? Not really, although we do have Montfaucon to explore still, because although we went there, we didn't really do anything there. So I assume there'll be something to do there. Maybe once we've been to Spain and back, something will... Oh, because there was a statue of the Spanish knight in the church there, so that had something on the statue that seemed like it could be removed. So that's probably going to be something we end up needing later on. So, okay, so in the next episode we will visit Spain and see what new information we find there. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.